Good morning. I am Dante. This is Leanne.
Sure.
Did I use that one before?
I think you might have used Leanne's, but that's okay.
Fuck it. Well, you, the viewers, can send me suggestions, because it's hard thinking of new ones every time. Like, that actually go.
Yeah.
That actually work. Like...
Oh, I know.
Leannis Morissette. We'll go with that.
We've used that one also.
No.
Yeah.
You have. I haven't used it on the show.
I just use it in everyday life.
It's your cover band.
Well, it's one of my many cover bands.
Yeah.
They're all going on tour together soon.
It's fantastic. So, how have you been?
I've been okay.
Awesome.
How have you been?
Been good. I've been busy.
Yeah.
Photo shoots and this, that, and the other. Making plans and trips from going up to New York for this weekend to do some work. SatyrCon. I'm going to see SatyrCon with Goat Whore on Friday.
Cool.
Death Fest will be happening this weekend. When this airs, it'll be last weekend. But I am not going to Death Fest. I'm going to New York. I have my own personal mini fest going on this weekend.
Dante Fest.
Dante Fest. Well, I have 4 shows in 3 days. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. And in Philly, I have Helmet and Prong. And then I'm going up to New York on Friday, and that's Goat Whore and SatyrCon. And then on Saturday, Insect Arc is playing at Union Pool, which is they're friends of mine. And then I'm going to also try and get to Vitus, figure out which way, one or the other. I'm going to either go to, and Chemist is playing there at St. Vitus.
Are you taking pictures at all these?
I haven't decided about Saturday night yet, but I am definitely 100% taking pictures at SatyrCon, and I'm really fucking excited about it. The last time I saw them was when I was living in Portland, and they played a shitty small bar, and it was about 18 years ago.
Oh, crap.
So...
I haven't been doing anything cool since I got back from tour, like, literally nothing. Just, like, going home, drinking beer,
No,
playing.
it's post-tour depression. That happens.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's part of... You're on tour. You're on the go. There's always something happening. There's always something going. Even if you're waiting to load in or sound check or anything. There's still something kind of that's not the same as yesterday.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some things up my sleeve. I'm good at looking forward and not looking backwards. So, Heavy Temple's got some stuff that we're about to do and embark on.
You been doing any fun screen printing projects lately?
No, just printing for Heavy Temple all the time.
Just printing.
Which the app itself is
that's
like
all
a
you do
is
print for Heavy Temple. So.
Kind of. At the moment. But I'm gonna go to Maryland Doomfest in a month, which I'm really looking forward to.
End of June.
End of June. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna hop on the Backwoods Payback train and go with them. But I'm really excited to see my friends in Winhan and Doomstress.
Mm-hmm. Switchblade Jesus is playing there. Are you familiar with them?
No.
They're pretty damn good. They're on Ripple.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good time. We went last year and had a blast. Mark Cruikshank is the man. Holla Mark, sharing stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to doing that. And then we've got some festivals that we're playing later in the summer. Muddy Roots.
I will not be able to go to that with you, unfortunately.
Why the heck not?
It's my little sister's wedding.
So? Good. Come on.
In Ohio.
Well, who's going to put me back on stage when I fall off?
I don't know if you're going to go off that stage. There's probably going to be a barricade even. I want to go to that show. I would like to go.
You underestimate my stupidity in the situations I get myself into.
I was excited about it, and then I realized the dates were the same week, or Memorial Day weekend was the same weekend as prior plans that I have. I have 2 weddings that weekend. That sucks.
Crap.
Because Shannon's wedding's that weekend, too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm probably we got RPM Fest coming up, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that's one I definitely would like to.
I'm bummed because Ruby the Hatchet and Royal Thunder were
supposed to play.
We're supposed to play. Both dropped off. And then we're playing Shadowwoods in September.
Again, plan on going to that. So
you should. It was so good. I would love it if you came. Last year, it's just like a big metal party in the woods, and we played. There's 3 stages. We played on the Woodland stage as the sun was going down, and it was really magical. It was really, really, really good. And again, I don't know way too many of the bands, but I like that, you know?
Awesome.
Yes. So that's basically my life in the next couple months?
That's still plenty busy. I mean, I'll be running around. I'm going to try and do Migration Fest as well in Pittsburgh. It's the end of July.
Who's playing?
It's all... $20 Spin is one of the people that puts it on bi-yearly. And every other year it's in a different city. So that's a whole different, different thing to plan a fest that moves like that. That's multiple days in a city in a different city every 2 years.
Yeah.
The logistics of that's pretty ridiculous, in my opinion. But
cool.
That's why it's called Migration Fest, though.
How are you going to get there?
It's Pittsburgh. I think I'm going to ride out with Shannon and Evan.
Okay. Cool. I thought for a second you said you were going to ride your bike.
I'd be tempted to be honest. It's not that bad of a ride. So
from here to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
You're out of your mind. You're not being serious.
Why not? I've biked across Oregon before. Why can't I bike across Pennsylvania?
I guess if that floats your boat. I mean, how many days are you planning?
Well, see, that's the thing. I would have to plan way more. It'd probably take me 2 days at least. So.
Yeah, and then to get back too.
Exactly.
And then you got to bring your stuff.
And I'm already going to be exhausted from covering a fucking music festival, so it's ridiculous. I wouldn't do that.
Think about your calf muscles, though.
They
would look golden.
I ride 60 miles, 60, 70 miles a week.
Let me see.
No.
I'll show you mine.
But nobody can see because our calves are cut off on the camera view. So
alright, then I'll just put it on our Instagram. I'll put it on your Instagram. Yeah. Who has better calves?
That works.
Me or Dante?
You know what? I'm a fuck up because I never tag our Instagram in our fucking videos. I just tag our personals. I'm a fucking idiot. So, thank you for calling me out on that. That face is well deserved.
That's the face I make for everything. That's when I'm really excited or really mad or anything. It's the same
That's definitely the exact face that needed to be made at me for that because that is a total fail on my part. So.
Man, I've been doing all that work on that Instagram.
I don't tag our Facebook page. I don't tag any of that shit. I put our personal and then that's it. And then I tag the people in the band's personal shit and then move on.
So you're creating a fan base for Leanne and for Dante. That's it.
Well, everybody loves Leanne, so it's definitely for Leanne. But
not everybody.
Haters gonna hate.
True. You know? Yep, I get plenty of hater tots thrown at me.
It's better when they have ketchup on them. Delicious.
It's better when they have sriracha on it.
No, I don't like spicy ketchup.
Well, that's one of the things I don't like about you.
Why?
That you don't like my favorite hot sauce. You never have it in your fridge.
There is sriracha down there.
No, not the right kind, not the rooster kind.
We're gonna have Christian McKenna on from And Christian, which we'll talk to them where they came to that band name. When I did a bunch of pictures, I did a nice photo session with them, and they've been published all over, and they didn't even have a band name yet when I did the photo session. So we'll have to talk to them about how they got the name, because I don't necessarily know that. But yeah, I stumbled through that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, we'll be back with our guest. It'll be cool. I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. I didn't get home till 1:30.
She's always yelling at me.
I didn't introduce you though. Joined with Christian McKenna from And Christian, Hexinverter. Previously, what other bands have you previously been in?
A bunch of bands. Empty Flowers. Too many to name. But Hexinverter is not a previously. We're just taking
I wasn't sure.
A nap.
So
yeah.
Because Mick
have you
just
ever
said
done
he had
that?
a new band.
Stopped playing with a band, but you didn't say we're never playing music together ever again. You just kind of took a breather.
We said we're doing that, and then they never talked to me again.
Yeah, we're totally done. We're never going to do that. Nothing's ever going to happen ever again. The show with Heavy Temple at the Shred Shed was it.
Was that really?
It was actually the last time we ever played together.
R.I.P. Shred Shed.
You jinxed us. It might have been one of your early shows.
It was, yeah.
And it was probably one of our last, and it's all your fault. It's fucked up.
I'm sorry that I did that.
It's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself.
What instruments do you play? I know that you're the vocalist for your current project.
I don't know how to play any instruments, but I will fuck around with anything. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to mess around with?
My cell phone.
Okay.
Very punk rock that way.
What does that?
Yeah.
I'll make recordings on my phone and turn them into loops and manipulate them, and then
All through. What apps do you use to do that?
just whatever came with the phone.
What, GarageBand?
This thing, whatever this is. I just
Oh,
use this.
just a
There's
voice recorder.
All these things are loops.
You only have 40. I have like 500.
Well, I only keep the good stuff.
All right, I keep all the bad stuff.
Yeah. All my stuff is fucking solid gold.
Really?
Yes, I have like 41 solid gold hits. I'm not playing any of them for you.
That's okay. I wasn't
Yes.
gonna ask. That's your own
Top
private.
secret.
No, it's okay. You've got a lot of things going on in your pants over there.
Wet pants.
So they're voice recordings. Are you singing into your phone? I would have thought you were like programming something.
No, I do some of that too, direct. But I like to use phone recordings as a starting point often.
Just like trying to just kind of jot down notes, I guess. Like
No, stuff that made it up. I recorded a good chunk of the newest thing that came out on my cell phone. A good chunk of it on my cell phone.
Really? Just like vocal melodies or what?
No vocals at all.
Then what?
Like
I don't
some of
understand
the
what you're
music.
recording.
Yeah.
Like
Samples?
something
or-
specific, or like
Are you
I could have recorded like dragging my fancy new Air Maxes on the sidewalk on the way to here tonight, like on the gravel.
So you're
And, like,
recording noises that are compelling to you, and you can see them being translated into music.
I think I'm probably too lazy to like maybe always connect the dots to turning it into music, but I just collect stuff that sounds interesting to me, and sometimes I'll go back and be like, oh, and I'll like check something and see if I can make something out of it.
How long are these recordings? Like 10 seconds, or are they like 10 minutes? Or
I almost, because I think it would be cool for right now, I almost want to just pull like the latest one up and hit play, but I'm not comfortable yet enough.
Okay.
Because it could be something like me, I don't know what it could be, who knows.
Well, wait till you've had a beer or two, and then I'll ask you again.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that?
I still might not do it that, but
Okay.
It's
So
well,
a lot of Bach Part 1 was recorded, was done through your phone?
a good chunk of it, yeah. Yep. There's a song on the record called "Anywhere with You" that Rich, my buddy Rich, wrote the vast majority of the he wrote all the lyrics and the melodies and had like a general arrangement, but it started with a owner of a lonely heart was playing at my friend's house on a record player, and it got the record got stuck, and I liked the way it got stuck, so I quick whipped out my phone and recorded it, and that was like kind of how the song started.
That's cool.
Very technical.
So do you take that sample that you've made, and that's actually what you put into the song, or do you manipulate it?
Both.
And okay.
For that thing, I would change like the key of it over the course of the arrangement, so that little yes loop would reappear from time to time, and sometimes it would sound different because I would change the chord or the key of it.
Well, it's definitely the most interesting approach to songwriting that I've heard in a while.
Really?
Yeah, as far as the guests that we've had, like, so far, that's a question
But
that
a lot
I
of it has
typically
been
ask.
much more traditional.
Yes.
traditional
Oh yeah,
rock.
I'm not. I don't know how to do anything. Like, I'm not a good musician. Like
How did you come up with that idea? Is it just what struck you, like, what to do? I guess if you don't play any instruments. You're more like a musical artist.
Yes, I'm an artiste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just laziness and lack of talent and ability.
I'm not sure if I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's definitely talent and ability to do that, to make music from something that somebody else would think is mundane. Like, you don't have to pat yourself on the back, but But
I think it's a really original thing to do.
Yeah, it's a very unique.
Alap influenced me a lot to do stuff like that. Maybe not exactly that, but like he would always tell me that that I was too dialed in on things, and I don't know if it translates to but doing things like that kind of related to him saying that to me, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Who are you talking about?
Guy that I work with in Harlem, who helped me write this newest thing that just came out, or that's coming out in like a day or two or something.
It debuted today on Decibel, which will be next week when this airs, but it comes out on Friday. So
the 25th it comes out.
Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, so it's released on Friday. So when this drops, it'll have already been released by almost a week.
It feels like it's been released for like 26 million years.
Your new record?
Yeah.
Do you already have the next record mostly done then?
I have like 6 or 7 albums of things recorded.
That's cool.
So you'll have to pick from, huh?
It's could be punishment for some people.
Do you play live shows often?
This thing, we're actually practicing Sunday because everyone kind of can hang Monday a little bit. I think Rich is going to come up and stay at the house, and we're going to have like our second, what I would call end Christian practice. But we have... So
should I come to take pictures for that?
You know what? I told Vince today, like you took our pictures, as you know, like, and which have they came out great. But I'm like, I don't feel like we can take any more pictures of our band till we actually like play a show or like do something to make us like a real band, because all we do is get our picture taken and we're like a make-believe band, and I'm like playing on my phone and shit.
That's cool. I mean?
But and you had a bunch of guests like Mike Hill from Tombs, Justin Broderick from Godflesh, on the album. Did they record what they recorded in their location? Did they come?
Mike came to Harlem, and he was supposed to do play guitar, I think, on one song, and I had like a super loose idea together, and he then I just kept like, I think Alap had like a Rickenbacker in the corner. I'm like, you should pick that up. I think it was like a left-handed bass even maybe, and I'm just like touch that like and do something like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And he like was like into it, and then he had some lyrics that he had pre-written, or it seemed like he did, because it was just like a stream of conscious type thing, and he like busted this thing out right on the spot, and then I kind of I had some stuff underneath already, and then I added some stuff later. Yeah, it's not like people getting in a room together and like jamming out. We're like mind jamming.
A lot of FaceTime recording happening, kind of thing, or
no.
Because you have a violinist as well. Gillian.
There's violin on the record, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And Richard Hoak from Total Fucking Destruction and Brutal Truth plays drums.
He doesn't play any drums on the new record.
Okay.
He plays drums all over our first record.
Yeah.
He plays drums on.
So he's doing more the noise stuff that he's been doing a little bit.
He has some he had some ambient recordings that we kind of carefully sprinkled onto arrangements that I had, and he does a little bit of singing and some percussive type stuff. Yep.
How long has this project been in existence?
Maybe like a year, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when I did the first photo shoot with you guys, you didn't even have a band name yet. How did you come to End Christian finally?
Yeah, explain.
I had another thing, just to be more confusing, I had a band called End Exian.
Oh.
Xian. This is totally not interesting, but I'll tell you. So, you know Mick, and Mick is the guy that I played in Hexenverter with. And he always, I've known him for 20 years, and we've played in a bunch of bands together, and he would always record us. What's happening?
I'm just trying to feel your vibe.
Sorry. He would, it's scary. he would always record us, and he had a piece of tape along the bottom of the board, and he always put XIAN for short for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I came up with that name, and I liked it. And then I started when I started writing new songs, and I kind of roped Rich and Vince and Jillian into it. They were like, "Well, you should still call it that," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to. This is something different." And we couldn't come up with a name, and they're like, "Why don't you just call it End Christian?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, I like that." And then we did that.
It sounds morbid.
Yeah, my wife always says it's like, so do you want to end your life? Like, is it
Dante, you can't just. Oh.
Why can't you say that? We've already acknowledged that I've spilled eye life all over my crotch. Maybe strategically. Maybe not.
I don't know. I feel a little hesitant to be like, so, are you thinking about killing yourself?
I'm not thinking about killing myself. I like... A couple people have been like, does it have to do with the end of Christianity? Which I think is amazing, and I wish that it did, and I thought of that. But I didn't. But no, it was just kind of like a jab at like me getting tired of like playing in like a regular band where we had to like practice once a week and like regurgitate songs so we could play them well, and like it was kind of like a thing like, oh, I'm gonna do everything different, and it's gonna be like a different kind of thing. So I was ending the past Christian.
My first impression of it, when Dante was telling me about
you actually
this,
listened to it?
I did. Well, about the band name, is I didn't necessarily draw any specific parallels between your name and End Christian. I thought it just was like, it's just a coincidence. It's the same thing.
That would be quite a
But
coincidence.
I don't think too deeply on things.
That's good. You shouldn't.
I don't.
If you can, you'll live longer. Probably longer than all of us. And drink those 9%ers.
This is a 9% winter warmer.
Oh, the winter warmer.
I guess. It has a wolf on it.
Not winter at all, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay, I think. I think I would not want to drink a dark beer this time of the year in the past, but I think I can do it now. I'm there.
You want a sip?
Sure, let me try it.
All right.
Try a little bit of that.
Not
Don't
a beer
lose
drinker.
that koozie.
Oh yeah, she loves
That's
that.
why.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like beer. My friend a couple years ago got me into all the like the peanut butter fucking shit.
No, I don't like beers that taste like a food. I've always been like.
I had one that
Chocolate stout's pretty yummy. though.
Yeah, that's good.
I especially hate chocolate
But I don't
stouts.
I don't want to have that in like July.
No.
When I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have a line.
Are you a big beer guy, I guess?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a gigantic drinker, period. But I like to drink scotch.
Get out. No, just don't go anywhere.
I like to drink scotch.
Yeah,
Okay.
I drink a good amount of scotch.
Yep.
That's cool.
I'm very sophisticated.
Oh
that
yeah,
way.
that's like the only like other thing I've ever seen you drink besides whiskey.
Well, whiskey.
It's
Scotch is whiskey.
which I don't really understand.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Do you understand? Scotch whiskey is whiskey, but whiskey.
But it's with peat and smoke. It has a little bit different.
I thought it was a
like
geographic thing.
It is a little bit. The Islay Islands mostly. So, bourbon is not really geographic either. Like, because you can make bourbon anywhere, but I mean.
Well, I get anything. I guess
I'm
you
not
can
a
make
big.
anywhere.
I'm not a big bourbon fan. It's a little too sweet for my taste. I like the smoky tardiness of the Scotch personally.
I don't know if I've ever had bourbon. Have you had bourbon?
I'm sure
Yes.
you've had bourbon.
Duh.
You can't. You've lived in the U.S. You can't have not had bourbon.
I don't know if I have. So what's going on with your band?
Well, we just got back from tour with Ruby the Hatchet, and that was
I've
freaking
heard of them.
awesome. Yeah, they're another Philly-based band. They rule. But now we have plans to record this summer. There is only one track released in the world of Heavy Temple with me involved. So
The new re-release of the
an old Heavy Temple song.
Yeah.
It's called Key and Bone.
What's that? Where can you get that?
Internet.
Is it on the Bandcamp?
I don't know.
Is it on the Bandcamp?
I'm not.
Spotify, wherever.
I'm not really good at like being in a band. I think it's on this compilation. I think it's called Doomed and Stoned.
Philly? Yeah, the Philly Doomed and Stoned?
Yes.
He knows about it.
Yes. Yeah,
He's got his finger on the
He
pulse.
knows better than me.
He's
got
got
his-
guys are on
he's got his
there.
finger
Heavy
on the
Coffin's
pulse.
on there.
Yes.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, we're recording an album that I'm going to be on. But I have another question that I just thought of
Okay.
for you. So you record these sounds. Do you get into this mindset that you're like, all right, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to record these sounds? Or do you just have to wait till you hear something cool?
More wait till you hear something cool.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to be, like, not forced.
Does that something cool end up being somebody farting on a snare drum sometimes?
Who do you know that's farted on a snare drum, Dante?
I think I would have told that ahead of time. Did you fart on the snare drum?
No.
You did, didn't you? Did that happen?
No.
Are you the drummer?
No.
You're the
She's
guitar player.
guitarist, and she fucking shreds.
Guitar player.
Guitar player.
Did you really see Heavy Tempo?
I did. We played with
because I look nothing like my drummer.
No, you don't. And I know who your drummer is now. You're right. You don't look anything like your drummer. I don't remember exactly the lineup of the band, and I was probably thinking that I was fucking cool and drunk and not paying total attention.
Yo.
But I remember we played with Heavy Temple. And we played with Heavy Temple at Kung Fu Necktie with Mars Red Sky. I don't know why I remember that.
Ooh, I remember that show.
I've seen the flyer. It's hanging up at Elisa's house.
It's hanging on Mick's fridge. Wow, I feel so cool that I'm on I'm in the fridge. I made it. Did she black out the hex inverter part?
No.
No.
Kill her.
No, I've seen it on multiple flyers in her house. She likes to hang up, art from the shows that we've played or, that she's involved in. And so I see, people who have played together. And
We talked about doing music together before.
yeah, Elise likes collaboration.
She wanted to do some kind of proggy, Genesis Yes Worship type thing. We were scheming up at that show.
Cool.
She would definitely be down for that.
Yeah, that seems up her alley.
And it's definitely, she'd be referring to early Peter Gabriel Genesis, not...
I think that was the
years.
common ground. We were both into that. I'm into all of the above.
Yeah.
So, what's something that most people would be surprised to know about you?
About me?
Mm-hmm.
I always, 80% of the time, carry hiney wipes around with me. Wherever I go, I don't...
Is that for your butt?
Yes.
I wasn't expecting you to be honest.
But, yeah, I carry hiney wipes wherever I, this probably shouldn't make it onto the thing either.
No, this is
This
gold.
is gold. This is not coming out.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, yeah, I carry hiney wipes with me. I mean, that's something... you said what's something... Most
No, that's
people would
really
know,
good.
And that's what popped into my mind.
That's really good. It could have been something bad. Or...
Oh, that's... I mean, now that I, kind of rehash it and say it again...
Hygiene.
I feel, kind of weird that I said it.
No.
So, what would your do-over answer be then?
That I record music on my phone. I make albums on my phone.
Cool. What other weird things do you do on tour?
I don't go on tour. I mean, I've the most touring I've ever done is 3 or 4 shows in a row.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to...
Yeah.
Is it hard to go on tour if you have a big family?
Do you have a big family?
How did you know I had a big family?
I have a woman's intuition. I can't even get it out. I just had an intuition that you have a a family.
It doesn't always
She was giving
jive.
advice ahead of time.
No, I wasn't.
I still plan on
look
conquering
at
the
him.
fucking world, though.
Huh?
I'm still gonna conquer the world, though. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
I haven't.
I believe you. I believe in you.
Thank you, do? Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's kind of cool coming from you because I see Heavy Temple's name fucking everywhere. I'm like, oh, Heavy Temple's playing.
Yep.
They're playing this, they're playing that, they're playing this, they're playing
We're
that.
involved.
Why am I not fucking playing this and that?
That's a
You
good
don't tour.
question.
Huh?
You don't tour.
Fucking A, I don't. I want my honey wipes.
I'm sorry to keep laughing on your face.
We're
You're
gonna
funny.
we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back. So
Okay.
it'll be good.
That was
Okay.
good.
Okay. Everybody all right?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome back. We're still joined with Christian, talking about Christian and everything else.
We were talking about how my burn wound is finally starting to look better. I don't know how well. I'm not going to show it to you, but it's starting to look better. Just believe me.
That's good.
You've had several injuries.
Yeah.
Did,
This is the most recent one.
and
That's
did you tell
par for the
Doyle
course.
about them?
No, but I did show him my abs. because he's got competition.
We had drawn on. She had drawn on abs.
Dante edited it out. He laughed.
You told me to.
No, I didn't. No, he. It was like the only time he did laugh and was like.
Are his abs drawn on?
No, they're real. But I was up close and personal with his dreadlock and was like checking it out.
Devil lock?
Like,
is it a dreadlock?
I always call it a dreadlock. It's a devil lock.
Yeah.
But
it's
it was
not
weird.
a dread.
No.
No, it's very
glue.
much hair.
Yeah.
But it's like
Was
he
it?
dipped it in like a vial of glue, and there was like bands around it, and I was
there's definitely yeah.
It was
Like
really
strengthening
strange.
it, making it look stronger, bigger.
It was definitely very
Reinforced.
taut.
It was reinforced.
But it was weird being up close to him because I was like, you're not even real. You're like a Ken doll. You're like so plastic, so freaking like. It was really strange. And at the end, he was like, "You just wanted to get close to me," and I was like,
That's what he said to you?
He did, and
He's
I
probably
was
right.
like, "You caught me." That's exactly.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's funny.
That's what I said. Because I was just at the end of it, I was like, "Ew." No, I'm just kidding, Doyle. You're very handsome.
You're an amazing guitarist.
I think he's pretty open and vocal about the fact that he's like,
Yeah.
I just don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an artiste.
Yeah.
So how do you put together running a label,
Doyle.
being in bands, and family life? Like, you have to make time for one versus the other.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't really do a whole lot other than tinker around with my... Like, in terms of working on music, I'll just sit with a computer and headphones on and be sitting on my couch.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Besides,
Yeah.
is that like a full-time, the record
Drugs and prostitution takes up maybe like 45-50% of my time. Translation loss takes up the rest.
I understand.
Yeah. It's hard juggling the three. Probably feel most guilty about translation loss, but I just try to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Dante helps me a lot. From time to time, we'll have some like sessions where we'll just kind of talk about my feelings, and he'll kind of give me some good feedback about
it doesn't happen at all.
how he's feeling about it, and we kind of work from there.
Do you have any pets?
Unfortunately, I do have pets. We have 2 dogs.
Oh.
The second one, my wife brought home without asking me while we were moving into our house. Like, we're moving day.
And what's the big deal?
Well, it didn't throw me.
Didn't throw you?
What kind of
Are
dog?
you the one who's
Happy about it.
responsible for them? Is that why?
No, I mean, I take responsibility for the dog, but he just drives me out of my mind. But I still love him at the same time. Yep. I had 2 cats for like 15 years, and they both passed away within like a couple months of each other, and that was brutal.
Yeah.
Do you have any other hobbies besides taking care of your dogs and being in bands and hanging out at Wegmans?
Just drugs and prostitution. Mostly. But I've been working on it with my therapist, and we're trying to get through it.
I imagine that you don't have a lot of time for much other things.
No. Not really. Yeah.
Dante's the same way. He does a lot of different things.
So
As
many
Drugs
do
and
I.
prostitution?
Not so much that, just constantly going and being and doing.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, working hard is where it's at. I like to keep my plate full because you have a lot of things going in motion, and then one day you'll be like, you know what, I did a lot of things this year.
I did a
'Cause
lot
I
of
hustled.
things throughout my life, but yeah.
You guys are hustling big time.
You try.
Yeah, you guys are playing all the time. It's awesome. It's very cool.
What is one of your favorite live music moments that you've witnessed?
Witnessed or been a part of?
Witnessed first.
Okay,
Maybe been a part
both,
of after.
both.
Yeah.
Okay, both.
You going first?
No, you are.
Neil Young and Crazy Horse doing Powderfinger at the Camden place, the big place.
Okay.
That's up
sounds
there.
pretty cool.
Yeah. It was amazing.
I heard they're touring with the original guitarist right now from Crazy Horse.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, actually.
Oh.
But this was the Broken Arrow tour, probably like 96 or 7, and it was Neil Young, Crazy Horse, and I think it was the first record they made in a
So that was when it was the Blockbuster Center at that point? Like the
I don't remember. Just the Camden place with the grass in the
because
back.
the Camden
One of
places
those-
had 100 different names. So
Yeah,
that's
they're
the
always like a
problem.
bank or
It's always-
something.
Yeah.
But that place, the
Yeah.
big place on the other, and that was cool.
How about what is one of the best memories you had that you've been part of, as far as music wise, like that you participated in? You don't have to. You played at, but it happened at, or anything along those lines. But
the band I played in, Empty Flowers. I remember we had a show up in Providence. We played with this band Red Hair. You ever hear of them?
Yeah, definitely familiar with that.
It was like one of their first shows, and we played with them at Machines with Magnets, and it was great. And it was like our first show, and it was our best show. I remember thinking every show we played after that, it was not as good. And I was like, wow, we like came out and played great, and it just consistently got worse.
You felt like that was your peak?
From like trying to execute the songs, yeah. And I think it's because we had like written them close to the time of doing that. I think we were like kind of like we're playing at Randy's house a bunch, and the place wasn't far, and we played the show. It was fun.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it was cool. What was your favorite live moment of?
I mean,
He's interviewing us.
yeah. Well, that's perfectly fine. I mean, seeing Crass, like the actual original Crass.
I don't know who they are.
Well, they were.
You know them?
Punk band?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Super anarcho-punk. I got to see Crass play with a full orchestra, with a full, like...
What? Where?
In England, Milton Keynes.
Wow.
Like...
Wow.
What were you doing there,
How many people?
Dante?
How many people were in an orchestra?
Well, they had a full 12-piece orchestra to
Wow.
go along with the band, which is already a relatively large band. That was really cool. X-Ray Specs played that show as well.
Cool.
I'm trying to think who else notable. Like, it was just like 2 days in England. It was fun. I was living in Finland
amazing.
at the time, but
Oh, that makes sense.
I got to...
That's summer in Finland.
No, 2 years. It's not
Same
not that
thing.
summer, but yeah.
Same thing.
Wow. That's amazing. That's cool.
93 Slayer at the Troc. That was the year that dude jumped off the balcony, died.
I didn't see that shit.
And he died?
Yeah.
At the Trocadero?
Riot happened, basically. Urinals got ripped out of the wall. Tour bus got flipped. This is what Slayer was in the 90s.
You went to that
All
show?
in the same night?
All in the same night. I was 13. I had blackmailed my babysitter into taking me. Because she had a boy over. And I was like...
Dante, you're one of those people.
And she took you to Slayer?
Yes, because that's what I wanted to go to. Like...
Do you ever keep in touch with her still?
No.
Jake, remember the time you took
I
me
would
to
like to
that
have
show and somebody
respect for you
died?
from that.
Completely lost touch, but I had worked out a lot of shows at that age to make that happen, because it became a regular thing that I was cool and she was cool and we made that happen. Like, I love going to fucking see music.
Apparently.
What are some of your favorite musical influences?
Right now?
Or from
Ever and
growing
right
up?
now.
Yeah.
Like stuff like Genesis and Yes and shit like that. Yep.
What era? Genesis is a long career, and there's
like my parents
definitely
playing
different-
Invisible Touch, and like
Okay.
me getting like a big generator for Christmas and shit like that with like my first boombox.
You got a generator for Christmas?
No, the cassette I got on cassette. Yes, big generator.
Okay.
It has Love Will Find a Way on it, and big generator. Do you know that record?
I know. I definitely know
Great
that
record.
It's
It has a
awesome
yellow
record.
cover.
Killer.
Is there like a specific album that like turned you on into music? You know
Um,
what I'm saying? Like, for me, I have one in my head that was like, yo.
Yeah, probably either Thriller by Michael Jackson or Steve Miller Band Abracadabra Song.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two things mixed together.
Cool.
Yep.
And Steve Miller Abracadabra is definitely heavily played still on the radio.
I remember hearing that and being like, what? Like that Abracadabra
And it
song.
was
being like,
super
what
different
the
than
fuck?
some of the other Steve Miller stuff.
Like,
that
I remember
got
my parents
previously.
playing
Yeah.
it and being like, I want to hear that chorus part over and over and over and over and over again. I remember like thinking that. Like,
So what kind of plans do you have for End Christian for the next year?
Just kind of sifting through all the tunes that we recorded, and we're gonna go record in the fall with Colin in New York. We're gonna go record with him, so that should be weird.
Colin
From Dysrhythmia.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
And we're gonna try to make a zigzag record that doesn't sound anything like the thing that we
Previous
just made.
record? Is this going to be Bach Part 2? Or is that... No, not even at all. Not even
No,
touch that.
it exists, but it's not next.
Okay. That's cool.
Empire Strikes Back is next.
I was gonna ask about that. If there's a part 1, there must be a part 2.
There is.
In the mix.
But
There
that's not for in the foreseeable
It's the
future,
same
though.
vibe of stuff, but we're gonna throw a zigzag first and then do Bach Part 2.
Have you
That's
ever
cool.
played a live show with End Christian?
With all of the musicians, yes. In the same configuration, yes, but as an End Christian, no.
Hold on, I'm just thinking
Previous-
about what you said. So do you have plans to do that?
Yes.
When?
We have to get
Before
we
it
have to,
became End Christian, it had happened live.
we have
Sure,
to
no, I understand.
Yeah.
we have to play. We got to figure out how to play our songs. We made a bunch of records without, so we're trying to figure out how to play the songs.
Yeah,
and they
I
probably
can-
won't
I
even
can-
sound like the songs.
Is that a problem?
That's cool though.
No,
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
cool.
Yeah.
So
It's fun when we do it. It sounds really good. Like we've only like really been like. That's why I'm saying our second practice is coming up this weekend. I'm like, all right, we're gonna like, let's pretend like we're playing these the best way we can with what we have, and that's the intention, like straight out of the gate. And the last time we were doing that, it had the vibe of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all kind of like, and then it kind of even sounded better. I almost will like in a way it makes you think you nurtured the basics of it a little longer, but. Yeah, I want to try to like figure out how to play the songs.
I like it when you listen to a record and you're like, all right, this is cool, but I wonder how they would sound or how they're gonna pull this off live.
Yeah.
Playing like live instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that'll keep people drawn and paying attention to what you're doing.
That'd be
for
cool.
Sure.
That would be really neat. I think Rich and Vince and Jillian are all really like open people that don't get caught up on like being very good at what they do, and they're like
What do you
into
mean?
like trying to like play something that's like Vince is always like, this is so fucking weird because it's so simple. Like it'll just be like a chord.
Well, Vince is from Starkweather.
Yeah, and he'll just
Yeah.
be like, it's about as far as you can go from what he's doing.
Mhm.
And it's almost like a challenge to try to sound big with so little.
Because when you learn to play an instrument, the things that you listen to, you think this is how it's supposed to sound. But when you challenge that and you're creating the music that you're creating, it's less about like how can we make a song and how can we make like this musical landscape of what we're trying to do. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. That is the
But isn't that kind of what
impression
you
and
do
vibe.
with your band?
No.
No, you're like super calculated and executed from the start.
No, I mean...
Well, then there's some of that going
There's
on there.
some of it, but it's still more of a traditional band. That it's like you have the traditional instruments, it's a traditional lineup, and to me, I go back to like my influences. I think you're doing something that's really original, and that you have to navigate from A to B, like solely you, based on the sounds that you've created on your phone recording. I think it's a really unique situation that
Cool.
is really interesting to hear about, and I'm always stoked about new approaches to music and creating ideas and stuff. And I think you should be proud of that. It's really cool.
Cool, thanks.
You're
That's
welcome.
cool. A lot
I
of
mean
people
that.
like kind of take stuff like that as like cheating or like not being pure, but there's something to be said about just like accepting like a technological thing and being in the moment and feeling like something grabs you and being like, oh, I can't do this because I'm not in a room with 10 million
You know
fucking
what?
wires
they
and
say
fucking
that,
kick
but if this is like the new thing, that it's like it starts
It already
a
is.
whole
I'm not
new
doing anything.
genre
I'm not
of
doing
things.
anything new. It's been going on forever.
What
That's
if you're
not
like
anything
the
new.
pioneer of like this new
Well, in
sound?
my brain I am, and when I talk to my dogs I am,
Mhm.
and when Dante and I talk about my woes of me day to day, that happens then. But aside from that, I don't know where I'm going with this. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes.
Appreciate it. I was trying really hard.
No, I know
didn't
it's
work
weird
out.
to talk about, and it's weird especially with you being the captain of this ship being like,
Arr!
yeah,
Arr!
yeah,
There!
yeah. No, but it's really really cool and inspiring to see in here.
Cool.
sure.
Thank you.
No.
But you did some crazy big fest thing, right?
Well,
They did Psycho.
we did
They
Psycho last summer. Dante went to Roadburn.
How was that?
I love it. It's
My
the
buddies-
pinnacle.
My buddy's playing with
I'm
Tombs.
No, it's the pinnacle musical fest. Like in my opinion, to want to go. It's just there's so much appreciation and the love of music there, and it's a vast variety of music. Like
And it's a large,
yeah.
like, festival type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy's band's playing that Hellfest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Have you ever been there?
I have not. And
It
I'm
sounds like a
not
crazy thing.
I'm not. I'm familiar with it. I'm not gonna decide to destroy my camera in that way because it's an outdoor fest and it's very dusty and sandy and it'll destroy equipment really quickly.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
You're not prepared for
yeah,
it.
think about what you're doing.
You gotta have. You gotta be prepared ahead of time for that, and I'm not gonna do that. So.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hellfest. Don't destroy your camera.
How excited were you for the Graceon release? Because that's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
We've known those guys for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a weird record
Super
for
weird,
now, I think.
but I love it.
It's like anti-fashion and like super fashionable at the same
Have
time.
you done all of Graceon's releases?
No,
Or
this is the first one.
Okay.
But I've known Jackie for
You
years.
did Giant Squid though.
Yeah,
so-
a couple records with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've known them for years. They're good folks. All those guys are getting a lot of things done. Andy from Squid we've done some shit together in the past, and they have that other band that Jackie doesn't play in, Squalus, and the drummer from Squalus and Squid is in Graceon.
Okay.
It's like a big incestuous pool of like bands, cool bands out there, weird bands.
But yeah, Graceon's been one of those bands that I've followed. Like I first found their record probably like 16 years ago.
Is it that
Like,
long? That's
yeah.
crazy.
And it was all instrumental, and it was super like we're gonna ride this, like take you for a journey on this, like. So I was excited to hear new Graceon.
Yeah, this is the first one in like
really,
5 or 6 years. I
Really,
think.
yeah, I really want to possibly get them on the East Coast. Figure out some way to make that happen, like a 3-show or something.
They
Philly, Baltimore, New York.
What's the place down the street from Johnny Brenda's? Like
Kung Fu
Fu?
Nektu?
no, not Kung
Fu Nektu.
Film?
Was it like the U Room or something?
The M Room.
The M Room.
The M Room.
That place.
Emer.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
It's not
Graceon.
there anymore.
Graceon. You're too young.
Did they played there?
Nobody knows how old I am.
Yep, 26.
No, I'm not.
Graceon, Squid, Rosetta, and I think Cable played at the M Room in.
Don't tell me this because now
great.
I hate myself for not going. Because I've seen Squid before, but I haven't seen Graceon. So
Oh, they were great. It was good.
I've seen Squid a couple times. There's a picture. Squid right there.
Where?
Right there,
shit. You took that?
Yeah.
Cool. Jackie, look.
Yeah.
There's no pictures of me back there.
Oh,
I can put one.
Thank you.
I got to send this to Jackie.
No, well, we'll send that after because we're gonna
Okay.
sign off and say goodbye and
Okay.
do all that shit. So,
Bye.
but it's great having
Peace
you.
and love.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ah!
Oh, sorry.
Whew, firm.
Sorry.
But much appreciated. Enjoy our viewers. Do all that shit that everybody else says and I don't want to deal with. And I'm gonna link our Instagram and Facebook now. So
Yeah, because he hasn't done that
I
before.
haven't fucking done that like a moron.
I have to learn the Instagram thing.
I'll make you one.
I'm
Yeah.
hip. I'm with it. Chugga 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 chugga.
Bye. You're so fucking good. You're so fucking great.